Kings and Queens, welcome back to the second channel. Hope you guys are all doing good. Wow, we're consistent on the second channel. It's kind of crazy, but we'll see how long it lasts. But today's discussion video, I wasn't going to make this video. There was a couple other videos I was going to make. Maybe we'll save that one for later on, talking about Jason. And that one was going to be if Jason is actually a good thing for DBD. But overall, based on the reaction and the trending and like even the views on YouTube, I might be just eating my words. So we're saving that video for a rainy day. Today, I want to talk about the probability of Pennywise and Slender Man joining the fog, as well as some other characters. Obviously, when we saw the teasers, and in case you guys missed it, there was a big cabin in the woods, and Dead by Daylight basically ran this for 13 hours. A lot of my fellow streamers watched this forever, which, you know, salute to them, because I took my ass to bed. I went to bed, and I woke up, and I figured it'd be a 13-hour thing. I woke up at 10, and I did like a literal 18-minute stream and got the reveal. That being said, throughout this entire 13 hours, a lot of different things happened. Originally, it was just simply a camp in the woods. We heard a lot of different bird noises. We heard a gun. We saw a guy riding a bike. So it seemed like it was just your normal everyday kind of place, right? It seems like, you know, everything's normal. It's just a cabin in the woods. Eventually, at the end, the reveal was Jason basically going in there, and we're like, oh, okay. Now, I think everything kind of flipped when everything went to night, and when the nighttime happened, that's when things started to get a little creepy. Now, one of the telltale signs that I think that we're overlooking here, and the only reason I'm saying this, by the way, before I even jump into this theory, is that Eric Pope went into Staggy's, who's another streamer, and went into their channel and said, this isn't the last time you're going to see of this cabin. Now, that might just sound like a silly joke, you know, like, oh yeah, more cabin stuff. But think about it. Let's think about it here. Let's dive down this rabbit hole, because this evidence is pretty crucial. The reason why it's crucial is because not only did we see a bunch of entity like claws and a bunch of static on the screen, but we heard the unknown, and I'm pretty sure we've seen the unknown as well. I have to go back and watch the clip. It's not in the forefront of my mind, but people are like, why is the unknown there? And that's when it all kind of clicked for me. And this is my theory on everything. Obviously, this is a looping video, right? So you will see it progressively get darker and brighter, darker and brighter, darker and brighter. And that is just probably because of editing purpose. But let's think about this outside the box for a little bit. What if that's every single trial that's happening resetting, and we are in the realm of the entity? Because we seen the fog roll around in one of the clips. We seen a campfire in the distance in one of the clips, and we heard the unknown, as well as getting images of the unknowns, of the entity's claws, right? So to me, it clearly means that we are now ourselves in the realm of the entity. And obviously the last clip of Jason walking in, we know Jason is in the realm of the entity now, right? So this is his shed. This is where he lives. This is where he chills between the trials, right? He's going around, and we've seen people running across, right? He's going through his trials and people are running away, whoever it is. And then he comes back, he gears up, he does what he has to do. It's his time to shine, right? So we're in the realm of the entity. Now, I want to talk about this for a little bit. Look at the teasers that we essentially got of, let's say it was a survivor, someone trying to escape from DBD's Twitter page and all their social medias, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. We've seen this person kind of just running around lost in the woods, which is very, very similar to what we've seen with the unknown teasers of someone also being in the woods and the unknown pretty much getting them, right? They're running away, they hear a little noise, which kind of sounds a little bit like the Chi-Chi Mama from Jason's theme, and then we see like fog coming out their breath. We don't really know what that means, but it clearly shows that there's somebody stuck in the realm of the entity and they're trying to escape. They eventually stumbled upon Jason's shack, right? And we don't necessarily know what happened to them. We know we're in the realm of the entity. We know that for sure. Everything kind of ties in together. So this survivor was trying to escape, and they're giving us pieces of what's going on in this realm. It's just a big ass forest, right? We know the unknown is there. We know everything is there. Now, the point being of why I said that is, what does that have to do with Jason? What does a survivor running through this have to do with anything? Now, it could point to the new survivor coming into the fog that we've seen that had all these hallucinations and blood falling and all that stuff coming at the subway station, and this is them and this is their POV. Or it could be a teaser for a completely different chapter. And that's where everything kind of ties in together. The same person, our community manager and lovely friend Eric Pope, tweeted about Slender Man and tweeted about Pennywise. Now, this is just probably an innocent community manager tweeting, but we're going to overanalyze everything because that's what we do. And it shows that there is potential. He said that the Slender Man licensing is particularly complicated, which we know because there's like so many different rights holders. There's the founder of it. There's people that made the game about it. There's Sony that owns the movie rights. So it's not necessarily as easy just to grab it and put it in. It's not public domain as people may think, even though it's an internet creepypasta. That's why I think that Slender and Pennywise still have a really good chance. The teases that we got don't align with Jason. Someone running in the woods, static on the screen, it doesn't make sense for Jason. It doesn't line up. Now, I could completely be eating my words if the power is something to do with static and people are correlating this to Friday the 13th with Jason is just kind of teleporting and you get that little static kind of effect. If something like that happens, ignore this video completely. And maybe I should have saved this video for another rainy day after we've seen what the power is. But to me, it still just does not make sense, especially the person running away. Maybe they're running away from a killer, sure. Or, you know, they're trying to escape the trial, sure. Whatever. It just doesn't seem right. Now, Eric Pope, like I said, tweeted about Slender, tweeted about Pennywise. It's obviously something that Dead by Daylight wants. And eventually, when they go to one of these licensing conventions, or when, you know, probably never, but money dries up for Stephen King and he needs to do a collab, or maybe he sells the rights and it goes to somebody else, or Warner Bros. Decides to finally do something, we might get some of these characters to join the fog. To me, the Slender Man stuff kind of makes sense for it to eventually come into the game. I think Dead by Daylight could have a strong possibility to land that IP. And I think this is what I said in my last video, is when you have your 10th year anniversary, sure, you want to make it impactful, but you still want to save some stuff for later on, because if the entire 10th year anniversary is stuff we already know, it's going to be a pretty mid 10th year anniversary stream. So if this cabin reappears and progressively reappears and things happen, that'd be interesting, and it could lead to someone like Slender Man joining the fog, because all the hints kind of lead to that. Same with the Stephen King and Pennywise. Why did we see something that looked like Stephen with the crown? It doesn't make sense. Why would this line up to Jason? You know, there's only so much that they can tease before they actually piss somebody off, you know? And I think the community is already kind of mad that it's not Slender Man, and vice versa. People that are Team Jason are dunking on Team Slender, and people that are Team Slender are dunking on Team Jason. That's what we do in the DBD community, though. You know how it is. But my point being, again, as I said, we can get these characters at a later point in time. And I think that's kind of the bigger picture here with everything. Knowing the cabin's returning, knowing the teases don't line up with Jason, knowing we had that Stephen King crown, knowing we have a community manager talking about these things and saying how much they want it, and we know that Matthew Cote wants at least Pennywise to join the fog, there's always going to be an avenue to try to get it. Now, truth be told, Pennywise is probably locked down. You know, we're probably never going to see that for a very long time, but things change. Just look at Jason. It took them 10 years, but they did it. Stuff like that can happen. Slender Man, on the other hand, I think can happen at some point in time. It definitely has the possibility. I think it definitely fits. And with the teases, I truly believe that Slender, more than any other character now, is the front runner for what we're going to see joining the fog, unless Jason's power has something to do with that. And I just kind of don't see Jason power having something to do like that. If you watched my video on my main channel, we talked about the concepts and powers that we'll potentially see. So we gotta wait and see, man. We gotta wait and see. It is something. It is something. And that's kind of my idea and my little rant. Again, second channel, super casual. We're just kind of ranting and talking here, and I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. But I truly believe that Pennywise and Slender have a chance to join the fog at some point in the future, Slender Man being the more likely of the two, and we could probably see this coming in, maybe not the next chapter, but the chapter after that. I definitely can see something happening like that, and I think that's why we've seen this. And like they said, this isn't the last we've seen of this cabin. This cabin is in the entity's realm, and we're going to see something. And I think obviously Unknown confirms that, and everything, the campfire, the fog, everything. So these glitches that we're seeing with this camera, there's only one person that does that. So that's why I think it's Slender. Anyways, that's gonna do it for me, my little ranty video here on the second channel. I hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you guys so much for all the support in the second channel, man. It means a lot. We'll continue these discussions. We'll continue talking about things that are trending on DBD Twitter and any just good discussions in general. I'll have a video talking about the good, bad, and the ugly of Jason at some point in the future. TLDR, as you guys know, is that I don't know how much it really moves the needle. That being said, that's gonna do it for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. As always, I'm the King. Got to back around you guys, and we'll see you in the vlog and stream. Also, if you use code KING, let me know on Discord and all that good stuff. Buy the merch, join our Discord, play some Minecraft with us, and we'll play some Jason. We'll see you soon. Okay.